Sometimes, the universe makes decisions before we understand them. It closes doors quietly, takes people away suddenly, and redirects our lives without asking for our permission. It can be painful, it can feel unfair, but in the silence that follows loss, there's often divine protection. God saw what you couldn't, and He removed them. You see, life isn't just about gaining, it's equally about losing. The Stoics remind us that everything we have is temporary, borrowed from the flow of time. The people in your life, the relationships you cherish, even the things that make you happy, none of them truly belong to you. They are gifts, and when God takes them back, it's not punishment. It's preparation. When someone walks away from you, don't chase them. When a door closes, don't force it open. Every ending carries a hidden reason. God saw the conversations behind your back. He saw the betrayal you didn't notice. He saw the future you couldn't see, and He intervened. At first, it hurts because we attach meaning to everything we lose. But Stoicism teaches us, pain isn't in the event itself, it's in our interpretation of it. If you can shift your mind from, why me? To, what is this teaching me? You begin to see God's fingerprints even in heartbreak. Maybe you prayed for peace, and instead, you lost people. That wasn't rejection. That was the answer. God removed those who disturbed your peace so you could finally breathe again. When you're tempted to question why they left, remember this: God saw what you couldn't. He protected you from what would have destroyed your spirit slowly. Sometimes the removal is the miracle. If this message speaks to you, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. Let go of the idea that loss equals failure. You are being refined, not rejected. And as you walk through the silence that follows change, remind yourself, the Stoics endured storms without complaint, knowing that what is beyond their control must also be accepted with grace. That is strength. That is wisdom. Stay here, because in this video, we're going to dive deep into loss, detachment, and divine timing, and by the end, you'll see that what was removed was never meant to remain. Before we continue, remember, if you find value in messages like this, subscribe to this channel. Join this community of thinkers and believers who are learning to trust life again. Every new video here is designed to realign your mind with peace, purpose, and power. When God removes someone, He's not taking away your happiness. He's clearing space for your peace. There are people who were meant to teach you, not stay with you. Lessons wear human faces. Every connection, every heartbreak, every disappointment, all of it carries wisdom disguised as pain. The Stoics believed that we should love what fate brings, a principle called amor fati, the love of fate. It means to accept not only the good, but also the endings, with gratitude. Because even what breaks you refines you. Even what leaves you teaches you how to stand stronger. You may think someone's absence is a loss, but often it's freedom in disguise. God saw their energy, their intentions, their hidden plans. He saw the moments you weren't there, the words spoken behind your back, the doubts they carried in silence. He saw the storms you couldn't predict, and He pulled you out before you drowned. Don't try to fix what God has already ended. Don't reopen doors that He has sealed shut. There's a reason peace followed their exit. There's a reason your soul feels lighter when they're gone. The Stoic way is not to beg the world to change, but to change how you see the world. So when something or someone is removed, practice stillness. Observe. Don't react. Don't chase, simply accept. Acceptance is not weakness. It's understanding that what is meant for you will stay effortlessly, and what isn't will fade no matter how hard you try. Sometimes what you call loss is God saying, "You've outgrown this chapter." And yes, it hurts. Growth always does. But it's through the pain of separation that we become who we were meant to be. Stop replaying the past. Stop asking, "What did I do wrong?" Sometimes, the answer is nothing. You simply reached a point where your destiny no longer aligned with theirs. God saw it, and acted before you did. Let go gracefully. Don't curse what left. Bless it for what it taught you. Some people came into your life not to stay, but to shake your soul awake. Once their role was complete, they had to leave. The Stoics would remind us, the obstacle is the way. The heartbreak, the silence, the endings, they are not detours, they are the path. What God removes, He replaces with something aligned with your peace, your purpose, your power. So the next time someone walks away, whisper this truth to yourself: God saw what I couldn't. Let that be your comfort. Let it remind you that divine sight always reaches beyond human understanding. And if this resonates with your soul, don't forget, subscribe to this channel right now. Let's walk this journey of Stoic wisdom and faith together. Every message here is crafted to awaken your strength, sharpen your focus, and remind you that you are never truly losing, only evolving. Sometimes you'll never understand why someone left until peace becomes louder than their presence ever was. We don't see what God sees. We look at faces, He sees hearts. We focus on promises, He sees patterns. We believe words, He sees intentions. When He removes someone, it's not rejection, it's redirection. The Stoics taught that pain is not an enemy. Pain is information. It tells us something changed. It invites us to look deeper, not at others, but at ourselves. What did this loss awaken in you? What attachment are you being asked to release? What truth are you being pushed to face? When you lose people, don't rush to fill the silence. Let it echo. Sit with it, because in that silence, your soul starts to speak. You begin to hear your own strength again, the part of you that forgot how to stand alone. Remember, detachment is not about being cold or emotionless. It's about understanding that your peace cannot depend on what's outside of you. You can love deeply, but you must not cling. You can care sincerely, but you must not collapse when people change. The Stoics lived by one rule: control what you can, accept what you can't. So when life takes something away, whisper to yourself, this too is within the order of nature. You may not like it, but you can learn to accept it. Acceptance is how you rise above chaos. God doesn't take without reason. When He removes someone, He's saving you from what you prayed for in desperation. Maybe you begged for that relationship to work, but it was draining you. Maybe you pleaded for loyalty, but He knew it was manipulation in disguise. He saw the future arguments, the betrayals, the broken promises waiting ahead. And because you were too blinded by hope, He stepped in with mercy, even when it looked like loss. There's a divine intelligence guiding every ending. You're not unlucky. You're being rerouted. You're being shown what real alignment looks like. When you stop resisting, clarity begins to bloom. You'll realize that what was removed wasn't your punishment, it was your protection. What if the pain you feel right now is actually the proof that you're being purified for something greater? Letting go is an act of faith. You trust that God saw the unseen and acted on your behalf. You may not understand now, but you will. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs? That is the Stoic spirit, to surrender to the divine pattern of life without resentment. So breathe. Don't fight what's fading. Don't mourn what's been removed. You're not being emptied. You're being prepared. Every closed chapter is an invitation to rise. Every removal is a divine rearrangement. If this message is awakening something inside you, stay connected. Subscribe to this channel and join thousands of others on the same journey of Stoic peace and spiritual clarity. Together, we rise above emotion and learn to walk in faith and reason. There's a quiet strength in acceptance. It doesn't make noise. It doesn't fight. It simply understands that life unfolds exactly as it must. When God removes someone from your life, He doesn't ask for your approval, because the same hand that gives also takes, and both are acts of love. You might not see it now, but every removal carries divine precision. You were attached to what was comfortable, but comfort is not growth. God knew the weight you were carrying, and He knew what needed to fall away. So, He lifted it, not to hurt you, but to heal you. The Stoics believed that the universe operates by reason, a higher order that governs all things. You don't always have to understand that order, you just have to trust it. Everything you've lost has created space for what's meant to arrive. The removal made room for renewal. When someone exits your life unexpectedly, don't chase after them. If they were meant to walk your path, they wouldn't have left it. Don't take it personally. God saw conversations you never heard, actions you never witnessed, and motives you couldn't sense. He saw hearts pretending loyalty while plotting distance. He saw your prayers for peace, and He knew who could never give it to you. Sometimes God saves you quietly, by ending things before they end you. That's why the Stoic accepts change without resentment. Resisting reality only multiplies pain. Acceptance turns suffering into wisdom. Every disappointment carries direction. Every heartbreak carries guidance. What feels like loss today may become your greatest clarity tomorrow. Take this moment to reflect. Who left your life that you're still holding onto in your mind? What memory do you replay over and over, trying to change the ending? The truth is, that chapter is closed. You can't rewrite it, but you can learn from it. Let it be your teacher. It's natural to miss people who once felt like home. But not every home was built to last. Some were only meant to shelter you for a season, not a lifetime. When the storm passes, you must walk out and find new ground. The Stoics remind us that attachment is the root of suffering. The more you cling, the more you hurt. Freedom begins when you accept that nothing is truly yours. Not possessions, not people, not even moments. Everything you have is borrowed. And what is borrowed must one day be returned. Don't mourn the return. Celebrate that you were trusted with it for a time. That love you experienced, that friendship, that memory, they were all gifts. Temporary, beautiful, and complete in their purpose. Sometimes we confuse endings with injustice. But what if the ending is mercy? What if God ended something to save your heart from greater pain later? What if that silence you're sitting in now is the sound of your life being realigned? This is where Stoicism meets faith, in the understanding that life doesn't make mistakes. You are exactly where you're meant to be. Every person who left did so at the appointed time. Every loss pushed you closer to truth. You can't carry everyone into your future. Some were only meant to teach you how to walk. Some came to awaken strength you didn't know you had. Some came to show you what love isn't, so you'd recognize what it truly is when it arrives. And when it hurts too much to think about it, remember, pain is the echo of attachment. The Stoics would tell you to feel it, but not to live in it, to grieve, but not to drown. Cry if you must, but then breathe. The storm will pass. It always does. God doesn't remove without replacing. But He replaces only when your hands are empty. If you keep clinging to what's gone, you'll have no room for what's coming. Release what has ended. Make peace with what's been removed. You're not losing. You're being positioned. Stillness is not emptiness. It is the space where truth begins to breathe again. When life grows silent after loss, most people rush to fill that silence, but the wise allow it to speak. That quiet after separation is sacred. It is the echo of divine order restoring itself. The Stoics would sit in contemplation, not asking why something happened, but asking how they might live virtuously in the face of it. The event itself was beyond their control, yet the response was always within reach. You are being invited to practice the same discipline, to let your mind stay calm while your heart learns to adjust. God removes what disturbs your alignment. It could be a friend, a relationship, a habit, or even an old dream. The human mind clings to patterns because they feel familiar, but the divine mind knows when a pattern has become a prison. When He breaks that rhythm, you call it loss, He calls it liberation. Do not fight the quiet season. It is not punishment, it is purification. In solitude you rediscover your own voice, the one that was drowned out by noise and expectation. You learn to walk again without the need for approval. You remember that peace is not found in people, it begins in presence. The Stoics described tranquility as a steady soul, untouched by external storms. That is the art you are learning now. Each moment you accept what has been taken and thank God for what remains, you strengthen the inner fortress of your spirit. The more you practice acceptance, the less the world can wound you. Think of the sky after rain. The clouds depart, and what remains is clarity. Lost is the same to the soul. It washes away attachment, leaving only what is real. Gratitude begins to bloom where grief once lived. Sometimes, when God removes people, He is answering the prayer you never voiced out loud. The prayer for peace, for direction, for freedom from confusion. You didn't know how to let go, so He did it for you. And though the process hurt, the outcome will make sense in time. Every tear you've shed is a form of cleansing. The Stoics said, if it is endurable, then endure it. You have endured, and that endurance is transforming into wisdom. You are learning that acceptance is not surrender to defeat, it is cooperation with destiny. Take another slow breath. Feel the weight on your shoulders begin to dissolve. Life is not against you, it is guiding you. You are being shaped by invisible hands that know exactly what you need to release in order to rise. If this reflection speaks to you, remain with it, let it calm the noise within. And remember, subscribe to this channel if you wish to keep growing in calm strength, Stoic awareness, and divine understanding. Here, every word is meant to steady your heart and remind you that peace is possible, even after removal. If this message is reminding you of your strength, if it's helping you see your pain differently, pause for a moment. Reflect. And if you want more words like this, grounded in Stoic wisdom, spiritual truth, and inner peace, then subscribe to this channel. Every week, we explore how to master the mind, strengthen the soul, and trust the timing of life.